It's a lot like many things in the agriculture industry. There isn't, a high level of knowledge of what it takes to grow a crop or what the horsepower it takes to run a tractor. And that's where I think some of this controversy comes into play when regulators want to impose on the agriculture industry the same types of standards that they're imposing on, regular vehicles that we're driving today. There's still this conversation of required horsepower. The Wheat Growers put out a press release, probably years ago now, where we use the catchphrase, "A Prius cannot pull an air drill." And our point is, we can't have the same standards, that there's a real requirement here for horsepower.
Agriculture industry applications are certainly a challenging environment for our vehicles. That's one of the fun things and unique things about our industry is every farming operation has different requirements, right? Whether you're in the rolling hills of Western Canada, or you're in like the main valleys in California and the orchards, they're very different. But we try and sell tractors, combines, and equipment into all of those applications.
So, Kevin, where do you think we go from here? I kind of feel, even though you and I are having a great conversation, I feel like there is frustration building between farmers and equipment dealers. And farmers are getting more frustrated with not being able to fix things. Manufacturing and equipment dealers are getting frustrated that this has been imposed on them too. Where do we go from here? How do we kind of get on the same page?
We in the agriculture equipment industry, we've taken the first step with making a lot of our diagnostic tools available to customers. Like we talked about earlier, the next step is a lot of it has to be education and helping to empower our customers to understand the technology that we've added, and giving them the information they need to understand how to maintain it, inspect it in the off season, and hopefully do some triage when that downtime does occur in the field, right? Figure out whether you can patch it back together or call out the dealer. I think that education is the next big step, that if we all work together with our dealers, equipment manufacturers, and customers to educate all of us together about the new technology that we have to maintain, I think we'll be better prepared to hopefully avoid some of that downtime and frustration.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Farmers always want to be excited about new technology. This is like the first time in my farming career that we've had, put the brakes on a little bit and not being thrilled or excited about new technology. And it might just be, a bit more of a learning curve for everybody. And hopefully we can work together to come up with something that works. And I do think that training and time, it has to be part of that formula.
It's the rate of technology addition to our vehicles that is putting us in this, that really is the root of it. And, time will help us make all those advancements in technology more intuitive. We're just getting to the point of using a little bit of AI, artificial intelligence, and letting the combine set and adjust itself. But when it comes to troubleshooting and diagnosis, that would be like the next frontier, is letting the machine be smart enough to diagnose itself. We're not there now. I think that's somewhere where we could get in the future, but it's going to take some time. So in the middle here, we've got to figure out how to work together to maintain and support these complex vehicles that we're using. Yeah, and I think that's where the education part of it fits in. And when you aren't familiar with the systems that are on the vehicle and what's happening when something breaks down, you're not in control. If you receive a little bit of training and education on how these systems work, at least you have a better understanding of what might be going wrong, and you're at least in a little bit more control, right?
It's rare sometimes that we get farmers engaged in policy issues. Sometimes it's just those of us that love policy that are talking about it. But right to repair is something a lot of farmers that are not interested in policy are talking about and are engaged.